mixed martial a-hole. MMA-holes, 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 MMA-holes.
No way.
Oh!
The greatest MMA show on YouTube, the MMA-holes. MMA-holes. What's up, friends? Happy Monday, TGIM. That's right, it is a Monday night, and you are with the MMA-holes live. We are here, we are live, we are wonderful, wonderful. Everyone in the chat, lick each other's balls right now. I demand a group licking.
Lick my balls.
That's right, lick my balls. Wonderful, wonderful for all.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I hope everyone is wonderful, wonderful as usual. Now we're going to start off the week. This is Fight Week. UFC 211 is here, and I cannot wait to get that party going. This is going to be the most swole week in MMA-hole history because we have a stacked show today with one super guest. That's right, Curtis Stout is here. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to get in the cage with Anderson the Spider Silva? Well, I've wondered that every day. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I wonder what it'd be like to get in the cage with Anderson Silva. Well, we're going to find out tonight what that is like because MMA Badass will be here. Google Zoom it, there he is. Flex, Curtis Stout. That's right. Bootney Farnsworth. We're going to be talking to him. We have a lot of things to talk about. We have topics. We have everything. I hope everyone's good and swole today on this Monday night. Fight Week. UFC 211. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Did someone play the fucking song? Well, there's Joe Rogan. So that means
I've got 10 more likes. I've got
everybody
10 more
dance.
Likes. I've got 10 more likes.
Fuck you. Dislikes.
I've got
Look
10
at him
more
dancing
likes.
around.
I've got
10 more likes.
I've got 10 more likes.
I hope the dislikes die of AIDS. Yes, the dislikes. May you die of legs.
Wonderful, wonderful.
May you die of... What? Oh, shit. We have 20 likes. We do it again. Ha ha ha! Fuck you! Yes!
I've got 10 more likes.
Look at Joe go!
I've got 10 more likes.
I've got
10 more likes.
Fuck you! Dislikes. That's right.
I've got 10 more likes.
I've got 10 more likes.
I've got 10 more likes.
I hope the dislikes die of AIDS. 24. Starting off the show with two times the 10 more likes song, and that's how this Monday's going. Everyone's like, woe is me, it's Monday night. It's the beginning of the week. I don't want to be here, but who gives a fuck? We are here. We're going to celebrate like a bunch of sick motherfuckers because we've got topics.
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 Topics. Topics.
Yes. Topics. That's right, topic time. Here we go. Luke Rockhold encourages the fellow middleweights, and he says, stand up and tell the UFC, fuck you. That is a quote from Luke Rockhold. He was on the Ariel Helwani show, and he wants the middleweight division to stand up and tell the UFC, fuck you. Okay. Thank you, Luke Rockhold. Thank you. Kelvin Gastelum, well, he's back in the news. And I bet everyone's all excited that Kelvin's back in the news again. And, yeah. So the W was taken away from him in the Vitor Belfort fight. So now that fight, scrap that fight, because the W has been taken away. And he says that he's done fighting in Brazil. He's done. Finito. And here come the quotes. Suspension accepted, but I will never fight in Brazil again. End the quotes. He'll never fight in Brazil again because he has a 90-day suspension, retroactive, of the event. And let's see. They want 20%. They want 20% of his purse. And when I say they, the Brazilian Fight Commission. What are they called? The CABMMA. CABMMA. Yeah, the Brazilian MMA Commission. They want 20% of Kelvin Gastelum's purse. So wait, hold on. The fight is over and done with. It happened way back. And now Brazil commission's like, no. We want some of your purse. We want 20% of your purse. So Kelvin's pissed off. He's so pissed off. He says Brazil is all about money. That's all they're about. So, fuck you, Brazil. I'm not fighting there ever again. That's what Kelvin Gastelum says. So we got a lot to talk about this Kelvin Gastelum thing, because the whole marijuana thing is complete bullshit. But he did break the rules. So what is right? What is wrong? And the fact that the Brazilian Fight Commission wants 20% of his purse? What the fuck? It's so bizarre. Shouldn't that go to Vitor? But if it doesn't go to Vitor, then that means he technically wasn't cheating, but the Brazilian commission gets 20% of his purse. It just doesn't make fucking sense. It's so stupid. Canelo Alvarez fought this weekend, and it was a snooze fest. Because boxing sucks. Sorry if I piss you off, but boxing could lick my balls. That's what I think, right? Boxing, you can.
Lick my balls.
Well, hey, listen, that might not be a popular statement, but this MMA-hole over and over again is disappointed by boxing, and Canelo Alvarez fought this weekend, and he did very well. Very confident and strong. But, yeah, boxing, yeah, whatever. Well, Canelo Alvarez and Triple G are scheduled to fight now in a super fight, which can be interesting. I'd be interested in that. But here's the kicker. In September, they want Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. Just so happens that a little fight that people are talking about, McGregor-Mayweather, was supposed to be scheduled the same month and the same day. Now they're saying, nope, Canelo Alvarez, Triple G is going to be the fight that day. What is going to happen to Maymac? Let's talk about that. UFC 211 Fight Week is here. And that's right. And a friend of the show, Justin the Fort Sumter, is fighting on Friday. And he's wonderful. He's fighting on Friday, Access TV. I will be live Friday night so we could all hang out and watch Justin Sumter fight on a random night / Fight Buddies. Random night was the first one last Friday. Let me know what you guys thought about that. But, we have 969 subscribers, and here is the greatest fucking chat in the whole fucking world. The MMA-holes. And they all are wonderful. Let's check out who do we have in this chat. Jay Smooth is sparking that Fuker up. Craig Lee, backwoods north. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Olympia Lowlife. Wonderful. Nightbot is always back. Jacob, however you want to say it, is here and says, this is ridiculous. Jay Smooth, only things good about Brazil is the women. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And speaking of wonderful, David Honig is wonderful. Look at this guy. Look at him. David Honig, welcome to the MMA-holes. You are wonderful. That's right. Welcome, buddy. All right. Good Mingle's here as well. Says they have no way of even enforcing that fine. Good Mingle, it's bullshit. It really is. Albertino the Sensational Esser is here. I would fuck the shit out of Gabby Garcia.
Wonderful.
Oh, God. In full effect. Look at these guys. Good Mingle. Olympia Lowlife is happy. Happy Days is here. What up, guys? What about Canelo versus Triple G? That's coming up in September. That is wonderful. AG Francisco is here. That's right. Wonderful. You are wonderful. Welcome to the MMA-holes. AJ Francisco. It's good to see you. We get 980 subscribers tonight. We will play the Fuck Luke Thomas song. So tell all your friends, tell all your family, all your enemies to come to the MMA-hole. Subscribe right now. 980 subscribers. We will play the Fuck Luke Thomas song. It's good to see everyone here tonight. We have 21 viewers watching on an exciting night. AJ Francisco says, begins to dab. Look at the picture. AJ Francisco, look at that picture. He's like a cone head. I love it. I fucking love it. The MMA-holes, great time, says Craig Lee, and you are a great man. Jacob says, on a recent interview, Connor said he visualized having a baby in May when he was banging D. He's Mystic Mac for a reason. Yeah. Well, Connor's baby is here. Connor's baby has arrived. Welcome, Connor's baby. It's good to see you. And right off the bat, Connor's baby is throwing a fucking left. And Connor made a Twitter account for his baby. That's right. You could check on Twitter. There is a Little McGregor baby Twitter account. And yes, that happened. That happened. So, yeah, if you want to check that out, Conor McGregor's baby's Twitter, it's there. And it is wonderful, right, Connor? Yeah. Connor agrees. Hold on, right, Connor? I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, fucking guys, slacking today. Curtis Stout is here. Curtis Stout is going to be here tonight, and it's going to be wonderful, wonderful. At 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Curtis Stout, badass Curtis Stout will be here, and it is going to be wonderful, wonderful. Now, if you guys have questions for Mr. Stout, you know what to do. Ask him inappropriately inside this phone. Place your questions inside that phone, inside the most cringiest chat on YouTube, the cringiest MMA chat on YouTube. That's right. Here is the MMA-Holes living room, where things go down, where things get swole, and things get sexy. This is the MMA-Hole living room, and we Google Zoom it. There he is, Curtis Stout, flexing for the MMA-Holes, and I can't wait to get him on because he's got some cool stuff, cool stories to talk about in the world of UFC and other fucking things. Yes. Laura Agents is here. Welcome, Laura. Connor Baby Instagram have more followers than the 145-pound woman's champ. That's insane. It really is insane. Brilliant business move. Let me ask you about the Connor Baby. Now, I didn't put the Connor Baby in topics because I knew we were going to talk about it, so I was like, fuck it. I'm going to let you guys bring it up. And you know I have a lot to say about Conor McGregor because I'm a big fan of the Mac, right? I got him fucking strutting over here, the billionaire walk. He's hanging out over here. What do you guys think about this baby? This whole thing with this baby. Conor McGregor says he is training, but is this distracting Conor? Like, is Conor, he's ripped in all these different directions. Is he fighting Mayweather? Is he not fighting Mayweather? Now he has a child to take care of and provide for. I mean, he has more money than God, so I think he'll be fine. But the whole thing with the social media and the baby having its own Instagram and Twitter page and stuff like that, do you think that Conor McGregor is jumping the shark? Do you think that Conor McGregor is going a little overboard with this baby, or do you find it hilarious? Let me know in the chat right now what you guys think. I'm in Conor McGregor withdrawals right now, so I could take baby Conor social media. That's fine. One person is dying of AIDS. Check it out. Now, you see the prick jar just says AIDS because my prick thing's not working, so there's one person dying in there. But we have 26 likes on a Monday night. Why the fuck not? Hey, listen, it's the beginning of the work week, but it's the beginning of fight week. That's how you have to look at it, and that's what the MMA-Holes do, and that's what we say. D got fat, no longer wonderful, wonderful, says Good Mingle. Ian's here, says Conor is a twat for naming his son after him. I've never understood people that name their children after them. You know what's funny, Ian? I've actually been on record saying that myself, but Conor McGregor could do whatever the fuck he wants, right? Because he's Conor McGregor, so... And should he name the kid Nate? Like, what the fuck should he name the kid? I mean, of course he's going to name him Conor Jr. Jesus, he's Conor fucking McGregor. You know? People would be like, well, if he didn't, people would fucking rip him apart. Olympia Lowlife will be right back, and we'll be waiting here for you. Jacob says, you're going to have Jay-Z on later? Yes, we will. And we're going to get fucking crunk in this bitch. Happy Days says, Matt Hughes and Chuck Liddell want to come back. You think this is a good idea? I don't know about Matt, but I think Chuck should stay retired. Listen, both of them should fucking stay retired. Matt, if you recall, Mr. Matt, who is a badass, an MMA badass, who is in the UFC Hall of Fame, Matt Hughes is no joke. He was no joke. But Dana White said, Matt, hey, it's time to hang it up. Dana White's like, we had enough. I think you should just do the right thing and just walk away. Just walk away, buddy. Go away. So if Dana White says that to you and it's like, it's time to go, I think it's time to go because you know Dana White is going to want to milk every fucking bit of your life out of your body. He wants to suck everything out of you. If Dana White says, yeah, I think it's time to stop. Yeah, it's time to stop. Matt, listen, if you want to come to Bellator, the door is probably open, but you're not because you're buddies with Dana and stay retired, man. Now, if you are a little butthurt about the UFC saying, hey, see you later, we're going to have to lay you off, and you still have it in you, go to Bellator because the circus is there and waiting for you. All right, let's see what else we got in this fucker. I say the MMA-Holes abduct Conor Jr. and ask for ransom, then split up 1,000 parts. Yeah, okay, let's try that. That's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Sounds good, JC, says Craig Lee. Brian Roger says, who else didn't watch Ariel's show live today? And down thumb to... All right, so here we go. Brian Roger, you bring up something delicious. I never, ever, 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 ever thumbs down a video. I don't do it. I just don't believe in it. Now, even if you thumbs down a video, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't make any sense because it's still some sort of interaction with that video, and YouTube's like, okay, people are engaging with your video. Whether it's thumbs downs or ups, they don't give a fuck. I like thumbs ups because I like to swole this fucking tip jar and play songs. That's the only reason why. But I do thumbs down every one of Ariel Helwani's videos. And it's not because I don't like him. I listen to him every time. I watch him every time. I think he's great. I met him. Real nice guy. But to disable the live chat is hogwash. Is all sorts of bullshit. You don't disable the live chat. You need to free the live chat. And that is what this channel's about. Having a free, swole, sexy live chat. Look at you guys. How could you mute these people? How could you do it? It's impossible. It's an impossibility. So I do not do that. And I happen to thumbs down every one of Ariel Helwani's videos. Nothing against you, Ariel. Nothing against you. But fuck Luke Thomas. Yeah. 980 subscribers. We play the Fuck Luke Thomas song. Remember that. Always. I see some good people in this place. Ryan Bowers here. Protecting Chuck is essential to protecting the UFC. That's a great statement right there. Craig Lee says, at J Smooth, yeah, whose dick did he have to suck to get... Oh, God. I'm just losing it. Yeah, whose dick did he suck to get so in the MMA? Whatever. I agree. Ryan Bowers says, Dana White cried during a Pride broadcast when Rampage smoked him. And that's wonderful.
Wonderful.
Dead Warriors here says, sup? What's up, Dead Warrior, you fuck? Ryan Bowers says, Chuck getting respect or repeated KOs was bad for UFC. Yeah, that's the problem. Sometimes these guys hang on a little bit too long and get too many shots to the mush. Matt Hughes is 42. He can't use equal. He ain't coming back in the UFC or MMA, says Frank Bavon. Let's scroll through here. Look at you guys. Fucking going strong here. Good mingle. Says Conor Jr. is going to end up killing his dad in an unsanctioned MMA match when he's fighting age. I'm calling now, says Good Mingle. He calls it. He sees these things. Now, guys, if I do miss your comments, I apologize, but I'm going to try to get to everything here. Craig Lee says, fuck Luke, and I agree. Free set, me free, says Craig Lee. Nightbot is here. Nightbot is spamming as usual, and Nightbot is wonderful, that's for sure.
Wonderful.
All right. Jason Moose says, fuck Ariel. Fuck Ariel. That's right. What happened to your face, bro? Says Dank Lord. Well, if you haven't seen any of last shows, the magical, mystical, long, super swole beard has been brought down a bit. So if you're referring to that, yes, it's been controlled, but there still is a magical beard here. There still is a powerful beard here, and I still am Mystic Moss. So always remember that. Mike Alola says, never trusted Ariel, slick like a Jew. Ariel's interviews. I love him. I fucking love him. The way he slowly slicks in he's like a snake. He slithers in and says these comments and stuff like that. And yeah, he could get under people's skin, and I kind of like that. Okay, Fly Bird is here. And that's usually what birds do. They fly. What about the Chuck Liddell comeback talk? What do you think? We were just saying that. I mean, I think nothing of it. I kind of don't. I'm not interested in these things. Now, I'm not opposed to what's up, David Adams? I see that. This shit sucks. Give David Adams a wonderful. That's right.
Wonderful.
You suck, my friend, and I love every minute of it. What was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, about the UFC. I was saying something about having an older, that older Legends League. I think Vitor was the one that brought it up, having a Legends League, kind of like what Bellator does. I'm not opposed to it. As long as it doesn't interfere with what's going on in the UFC, as long as it doesn't interfere with any of that shit, I'm down with that. Have a Legends shit. Keep it in the prelims. No main card Legends shit. Keep it in the prelims, and I'm down. You could headline a prelim event with a Legends fight. That's cool with me. I'm cool with that. Instead of putting a Dustin Poirier, Eddie Alvarez fight in your prelims headliner. It's bullshit. I don't like that. I feel like it's a waste of a great fight. People are like, well, we're getting it for free. But Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier on UFC 211 should be bumped up to the main card and make that 6 fights on the pay-per-view. If you're going to pay for the pay-per-view, make it fucking 6 fights. Stop blabbing, Chris. Cut it out. Fuck Luke Thomas. That's right. Fuck that guy. Right? That's right.
Wonderful.
AJ Francisco is here. Says, when I knock people out, they don't fucking move. CM Goat Punk. CM Punk is going to be on the Real World Road Rules, whatever the fuck MT's going to be on MTV. Ay. Jacob says, Ariel always plays innocent and pretends like he ain't plotting like a Jew.
Wonderful.
Who in the chat? Let me know right now who in the chat, because the chat is going swole right now. If you guys go to Ariel's video and thumbs down the video because it has no live chat, hit me with the ones in the chat so I know which one of you motherfuckers is as sinister as myself. Jay Smooth says, Chuck is old as fuck and his chin is gone. Ian says, Ariel literally cried on a live stream about being kicked out of the UFC event. Yeah, Ariel gets butthurt real easily. Hendo would own the old league of fighters. Yes, Hendo in the old league, Frank Bavine, and welcome you, fuck, would be great. He would be great. I want to see Hendo fight again. The old league needs to be around just for the H-bomb to come back. I agree. 31 watching right now. We do weekly shows every Wednesday, guys. So if you're new to this, subscribe. Don't be a douchebag and subscribe. Curtis is going to be on soon. Curtis Stout is going to be here, swole with us on the MMA-Holes Live, and I'm fucking pumped. So hang in there. We're going to have a great interview because I am a great interviewer. And those that think I'm not a great interviewer can lick my balls.
Lick my balls.
That's right. All right, look at this. All right, so now I see other people do this. If you look, Craig Lee, AJ Francisco, Brian Royger, Jay Smooth, all thumbs down. Ariel Helwani's video, so I'm not the only dickbag. All right. Luke Thomas is the man. Fuck you, man. Why are you hating on Luke? Says Jay Madden. Jay Madden apparently is Luke's lover. Well, here's the thing. I am a fan, okay? I am a fan. I'm not a fan, but I do consume Luke Thomas. That's gay. No, I don't consume Luke Thomas. I watch Luke Thomas. I've listened to Luke Thomas, and I do, anytime he goes onto his little ranty streams, I participate in it, and I watch. And in the live chats, I'm in there. I'm representing. Now, here's the thing with Luke Thomas. I feel he's very consumed with himself. I feel like the whole... Hold on.
Hello? Yeah. I'm pretty much... I know everything. And,
That's my Luke Thomas right there. Luke Thomas is a deep voice fuck that just is so into himself. And, if he kind of loosened up a little bit, just a little bit, and, showed some sort of personality, the guy would be really good. I mean, the guy's a smart man. He knows a lot about MMA. He's just so consumed with himself. And it's just not my cup of tea. 980 subscribers. And we will play the Fuck Luke Thomas song. And then we'll all fuck him in the ass. David Adams gives a 5. Jesus Christ says, Chris, what happened to William Knight match? William Knight. William Knight. Okay, Jesus Christ. William Knight is a friend of the show. A big black burly man with muscles all over him. Does flips. He's in the intro to the MMA-Holes. And he fucked up the guy in the first round. Has a belt in one league, a belt in another league. William Nightmare Knight. If you don't know, now you know, Ninja. Check him out. If you're not knowledgeable of this William Knight guy, he is an amateur title holder in 2 leagues, has belts all over the fucking place. The guy's a beast, and he is in the intro of the MMA-Holes. The guy's a beast. I must get him back on to talk about that fight, but he did win. And thanks for asking. William Nightmare. Fu Kluk, says Craig Lee. That's right. Luke Thomas, hot dog lips, spew shit. LOL, Frank Pavone. Jay Mann says, I'll give you that. Brian Royger says, Luke Thomas is too corporate. Yes. Jay Smooth says, fuck him. Look at this. Look in the chat. Kobe's Corner's here. Kobe's Corner is a friend of the MMA-Holes, and Kobe's Corner is wonderful, wonderful. Check out his channel. If you want fight breakdowns, don't come here because I'm a dick. I'm okay. I'm okay. But Kobe's Corner is legit. If you want good advice on a fight, if you're like, I don't know how this fight's going to go, watch this man. He's a very knowledgeable man, Kobe's Corner. Check him out on the YouTubes. Go to his channel, subscribe to him, and lick his balls. Right? That's right.
Lick my balls.
What up, son? Jay Madden says, he is loose. He is self-deprecating, and I agree. Fuck that guy. That's right. Fuck Luke Thomas. Everyone fuck Luke Thomas right now. The Infinite Corner says Luke is really a hobo who's paid with his 40s of malt liquor, and he pretty much is. Now, I can't hate on Luke's beard. He does have a beard, but it's inferior to mine. No matter what length my beard is, it's just better. Chris, would you do Uriah Favor's pussy chin? Yes, I would take Uriah's chin out on a date, and I would fuck it all night long. Oh, God. I think he's funny and knowledgeable, but I can see why people don't like him. And listen, I am entertained by Luke Thomas. I'm not going to make this the whole fucking Luke Thomas bash show. Even though we get 980 subscribers, I will play the song, and we will sing and dance and step on his face. You rock. Corby's Corner, you rock, my friend. Frank Bavon says, need 10 more subs. Right, that's right. Frank Bavon is the gatekeeper of our subs and likes. 3 more likes, we play the fucking 10 more likes song. Green Street is here and says, all this ball licking arouses me. That's right.
Lick my balls.
This is the most dysfunctional show on YouTube, the MMA dysfunctional show on YouTube. And if you look at this chat room here, this is the cringiest live MMA chat on YouTube, and it is wonderful, wonderful. In this room, the Google, this is the room where we have our guests. We have guests in here, and boom, this is the face that they see. Hi, that's what they see, and that's what you see. So when we have our guests in here, it gets swole and gets sexy. All right. They have a worse camera than you guys. I always give you guys the better of the 2 cameras because I'm a nice person to the MMA-holes. 36 watching. Look at this. Green Street is here, and he is wonderful, wonderful, or she is wonderful, wonderful. Welcome, Green Street, to the MMA-holes. You made a wise decision by subscribing to us. Very wise. 8 more subscribers. We'll play the fuck Luke Thomas song. That's right. All right, chat room. Let's look. Uh-oh, guys. Hold on a second. Hold on one fucking second here.
Can you hear me?
I do hear you. And I'm
Oh, good.
Hold on.
Am I too loud?
No, you sound pretty good right now. Hold on.
All right, cool.
Look at this. We got someone here. Can you hear me? Hold on.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen,
yeah.
we have a guest here.
We got a guest.
We got a guest.
We got a guest.
And look who it is.
We got a guest
On the MMA-holes. Yeah.
We got a guest.
All right, everyone in the chat, dance right now. We have a guest on the MMA-holes.
MMA-holes.
What's up, MMA-hole?
My friends, my family, this is a badass. This is a legend that I just came across. I just stumbled across this man. It is Curtis Stout, also known as Bootney Farnsworth. He is here, a guest on the MMA-holes, swole and sexy, hanging out. And it looks like you have nice pieces of wood behind you. And was it the Hulk? Is that the Hulk?
Yeah, man.
There he is, the Incredible
Big
Hulk.
comic book fan.
Oh, awesome. Oh, we need to talk some comic books, too. I have a lot of things about comic books. But, guys, everyone in the chat right now, say hello to Curtis Stout, newfound friend of the MMA-holes. Curtis, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Just came from the gym. You know, I got a couple of up-and-coming fighters. And, you know, that's pretty much it, man. I work 2 jobs. You know, I run my gym in a small place in Parsons, Kansas. That's pretty much it, man.
Now, guys, family, friends, let me just tell you a little backstory here. Curtis was nice enough to put a nice little comment on one of our videos. And Curtis, could you put the camera down a little bit? Is that possible?
Oh, hold up.
There we go.
Is that
Cool.
better?
Awesome, yeah.
All right.
I had a little too much wood there, and it got a little gay for a second. So I was looking at one of my videos. I always like to go through the comments. I like to talk to my friends, and I saw Curtis dropped a nice little comment over there, and I was really nice of him. I creeped on his channel like a stalker, and I was like, "Holy shit, this man is no joke right here. This is Curtis." I had to actually do some little research on your backstory to find out. I noticed that you have that Bootney Farnsworth. You like to play video games. You like to do a lot of gaming streams. How long have you been doing the gaming streams for?
About a year, a little over a year. You know, I started my gaming channel, but I play the game, but I rarely talk about the game. I mostly talk about MMA or things going on in the real world, or I do my skits. So, you know, I'm a small channel, but, you know, I'm trying to grow.
I noticed that you do skits, and what I liked about the whole thing where you said you were talking about the games, it's actually, for some reason, it works. It works. Like, now you're playing like Call of Duty or something like that, and you're telling a story at the same time, and for some reason, it kind of takes you into that story in some weird way. Actually, it's kind of genius what you're doing right there. You're just basically telling us about some crazy story, and then you have the video game going on at the same time. What got you into doing something like that? What inspired you into doing something like that?
I just had to be different. You know, most of the gaming channels are pretty much the same. You know, it's a few that are unique, but you know, they talk about the best weapon setup, things like that. So I'm pretty good at the game, but I'm not good enough to give it gaming advice, if you know what I mean. So I just, use it as a platform to basically talk about my passion of, mixed martial arts and things I've experienced.
So, speaking of mixed martial arts, one of the big reasons why I wanted you here is you were a professional MMA fighter, and now you're saying that you train some fighters. Do you have a gym, or do you work at a gym? What's the deal right now? What are you currently doing right now with MMA?
Yeah, I have a small gym called the Ultimate Gym in a small town in Kansas. So I got very few students. I got a fighter, John Hambleton, undefeated 3-0, just starting his pro career. And I don't know if you heard of TJ Britton, but Dana White's been looking at him, and I think Bellator offered him a contract, but he kind of declined on it. And the thing about TJ is 6'4", I think, and he fights at 135. He's the tallest 135 pounder in the nation.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
That's insane. Wow. I mean, to be that tall, and does he cut a lot of weight to get that, or he naturally walks around at a lightweight?
He cuts about 15 to 20 pounds, normal.
Wow.
Normal weight cut. Yeah.
Talk about an edge. Now, what do you think? A person that is that tall in a weight class that, like, at 135, is that an advantage or is it a disadvantage? Like, how would that reach be much of an advantage?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think for him it's advantage because he's really good on the ground, and his striking is top notch. So he doesn't have any real holes in his game. So yeah, so look out for him because he's definitely going to make waves.
I'm definitely going to look out for him. Now, MMA-HOLES, if you're just jumping right now, we're here with Curtis Stout. Bootney Farnsworth here. Now, we're going to go back in time. We're going to go back in history. We're going to start Baby Farnsworth. Now, where did you get the name Bootney Farnsworth before we get into that?
Bootney Farnsworth comes from it was a 70s movie with Jimmy Walker, Cindy Poitier, and Jimmy Walker was a boxer, and his name was Bootney Farnsworth. And I just thought it was funny, so I just stuck with it. I thought it was pretty unique.
It is. Yeah. I tell you what, it stands out. It is a unique name. It's a lot better than a stupid MMA-HOLES dopey name. So I'm looking at my notes here. It says September 16th, 2000 to May 18th, 2007. Was that the length of this pro career of Curtis Stout? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So now, how did you get into MMA? What drew you to the sport of MMA?
Like most people, watching the UFC, I'm originally from New Jersey, but I was living in Kansas City at the time. And I went, watching the UFC, the first couple of UFCs, I was hooked. I said, I have to do that. So my ultimate goal was to get in the UFC. So I went to the Navy for 4 years. I made a decision to follow my dream. Got out of the Navy, left Japan, and I started training at American Jiu-Jitsu in Kansas City. And I think, I had 2 smaller fights in hook and shoot in Indiana. And maybe 6 months after I was, had those fights and training, I was in the UFC, fighting, the New York badass, Phil Baroni.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So it seems like it was a whirlwind. This career here, it seems like, I'm going to pull it up right now for our friends over here. Google Zoom it. Here we go. Check it out. I'm pulling up your Sherdog stats over here. Okay. Now, I'm looking through this thing over here. I tell you what, you've been all over the place. You fought in a lot of leagues and stuff like that. It looks like you put together some winning streaks, some losing streaks, but it looks like you have so many experiences here. What, in your MMA career, when you went pro, what was the first thing that really stands out to you? What is the first thing that you say to yourself, wow, I kind of made it here?
Wow, that's kind of hard. I guess when I got into the UFC, I mean, my fight with Baroni was supposed to be the first official 185-pound fight, because prior to that, it was just, I think, 199. But, I got there, and I guess it was still 199. So I was, for the early part of my career, I mean, I walked around at maybe 182 and fought at 185, and it was later that I learned the weight cutting thing. I mean, early on in my career was a big learning, it was like on the job training, because at the time in Kansas City, there was no BJJ black belts, so I tried to rely a lot on my striking. And the only show that was close was Extreme Cage Challenge in Iowa. Yeah, so
it was UFC 30 Battle on the Boardwalks. It was called. Now they used to have did they used to have names for each event, like specific names for it?
yes.
Battle on the Boardwalks. So now you fought a guy. Well, John McCarthy was there. That shows how long John McCarthy's been around forever. How is a guy named John McCarthy? Do you feel his reffing skills are legit?
Yeah, I do. I still think he's the best in the business.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Am I breaking out?
no,
Can you still hear me?
I hear you well. Do you hear me good?
Yeah, okay.
All right. So John McCarthy was the ref. Yeah, go ahead. What are your opinions on John McCarthy?
Yeah, I still think he's the best in the business. I mean, reffing is a hard job. I did it for a little while, and reffing is not easy. So when a lot of people, sideline, say things about the ref, it's not an easy job,
What was it like to go to decision against the New York badass Phil Baroni?
Well, I mean, with his wrestling credentials, like my wrestling, especially when I very first started out, I mean, when people took me down, I just basically, was in defense mode. So, I mean, it was a pretty good experience. Looking back at Phil, he was later known for his striking ability. So I think that would have been a good clash of two titans, but he took me down, kept me down, controlled me. And it was only two rounds, because back then the preliminary fights were only 2 5-minute rounds.
Okay. So yeah, it seems like, I mean, it's not really that long ago, but it must seem like a long time ago. And I'm sure a lot of things were different in the UFC back then.
A whole lot of things. Yeah, the sport has totally changed, I think, when I fought in the UFC, it was like 1,000 to show and 1,000 to win. And now it's just, the money and the exposure, everything, thanks to the Ultimate Fighter. But yeah, it's definitely different. Even the fighters evolving, before, back in the day it was striker versus wrestler, but now, fighters are morphing into, like Bruce Lee would say, like water, they have no weaknesses, and guys like Rory McDonald come to mind, because I think Rory started training MMA. I don't think he had a discipline, prior to just all around MMA fighters.
Growing up, who was the guy that you looked to? Who was the one that you wanted to be like, that you kind of mimic your style to, or was it a hybrid of people? Who did you look up to?
You mean an MMA?
In MMA,
scene?
yes.
Oh, early on, definitely Pele Landi. Pele?
Okay.
Do you remember Pele, Brazilian fighter Pele?
That's actually a little bit before me, but explain who Pele was.
Well, I mean, he was a bald head black dude, and yeah, man, his striking was devastating. Yeah.
So you
probably Pele?
You consider yourself a predominant striker? What was the style of fighting that you had?
Yeah, mainly that was my strong suit. I had a really good Thai instructor. So yeah, my striking was definitely my strong suit.
So I did notice. Okay, so now here's the thing that stood out for me. I mean, I felt like a little schoolboy. When I saw the Anderson Silva fight, I actually, as soon as I found out who you were, I went and I watched this Anderson Silva fight. Now, to MMA-holes that don't know this, Curtis Stout shared a cage with a gentleman named Anderson the Spider Silva. Now, let's go back to before this fight started, when they were matchmaking this fight and everything like that, and you found out you were fighting this guy. What was Anderson Silva like back then?
Okay, well, to me, I knew he was what he is now. Well, not now, but he was great, because I was a huge Anderson Silva fan. I watched him in Shudo when he beat Sakurai. I knew this guy was going to be special, But like I said, and I laugh at it now, but he had knocked anyone out until he knocked me the fuck out. So it was all fun. I think when we're talking about Anderson in my fight, I think the biggest thing is it wasn't like I was just fed to him. I mean, I worked my way up, with 3, devastating knockout wins, especially that first one against Saul Gilbert. And I still say that was probably the most devastating knockout in combat sports, just simply the way his head hit the canvas. And, it took him months to recover. I mean, he had paralysis on the left side of his body. His vertebrae popped out. It was just all types of weird shit that I never heard like can happen when you knock someone out. But it wasn't the actual knockout that did the damage, but it was how he hit the cage.
Man, oh man. So now, what surprised you most about a guy like Anderson Silva when you guys actually got together in the cage? Was there anything that surprised you most, or did you expect how he was going to fight, how he was fighting you?
Well, I think I expected more of a stand-up fight, but Anderson's a smart guy. Why give me a puncher's chance? And he had seen my previous fights, and he knew about me, and I'm pretty sure he respected me and my skill because prior to that, and even after that, Anderson, when you watch the weigh-ins, the face-off weigh-ins, he's very intimidating. But our weigh-in face-off, I mean, we were laughing and. I kissed his belt, it was cool. So I think he respected me. But surprising wise, I mean, nothing. I knew he was a tactical genius, so yeah. So when I woke up, I was, I was like, yeah,
he's the real deal.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Did you know then that this guy is legit? Like this guy is the real deal?
Yes. Now, a lot of people, at the time, he wasn't big in the United States, but I knew when he got to the UFC that he was going to be a champion. Because at the time, I thought he was the greatest MMA striker like ever. So
how was his English back then? Were you able to go back and forth with him? Was his English good enough for you guys to go back and forth?
No, not really. Just a lot of smiles.
Oh, okay. So it was pretty much you kind of looked at each other and knew what was going on by just looking at each other. So, all right, so we have a live chat going right now. MMA holes, keep going. Now, I saw in the chat earlier, someone was like, what does it feel like? Like, how do you bounce back from a loss like that? Now you get knocked out. I mean, no one wants to get knocked out, but when you come back and you recuperate from that fight, how do you regroup after something like that?
Well, I mean, it's all a part of the game, and I think more importantly is the things going on outside of the ring. That's why it's good to keep, and I always preach this, to keep good people around you, for up and coming fighters. What's going on outside the cage is probably way more important than what goes on inside the cage. You got to have good people around you. You got to have good trainers. You got to have people to push you. You got to get rid of all the negative shit in your life, and yeah.
Yeah, it's got it. Now, I noticed that this fight was in 2005. So, you were on a 3-fight win streak before this fight. So, you were going pretty strong right here. All in cage rage, it looks like.
Yes.
So, you must have been super confident going into this fight. Do you feel that this fight might have been the fight that was like you've peaked? Like, how did you feel from this fight?
I think it was. Yeah, and a couple of people that knew, mainly people over in England, because I was still kind of unknown here. I was just the guy that lost in the UFC, in the States. But over there, I was a little bit of a celebrity. I had a fan base, and a lot of people thought I actually had a shot, to defeat Anderson, including gangster Lee Murray.
Well, I tell you what, looking at both of you guys, if I had to just pick by looks, I would say Anderson's going to sleep, man. Looking at you were in fantastic shape. Now, Anderson Silva, when people say Anderson Silva, now over his head is the whole steroids thing. Now, like, you keep on hearing about these weird things, he was taking something for this, for healing, and this and that. And it seems like there's always going to be a little asterisk next to his name because now people are always talking about this steroid garbage. I don't believe it because to me, Anderson Silva is like a god. Like, I don't know. But What are your thoughts on this whole steroid thing? Was testing strong back then when you faced Anderson Silva? Were they testing fighters a lot?
No, I know they weren't in a cage rage. They weren't.
No.
Definitely not in Japan. So.
Okay, so let me ask you this question then. Did you do any steroids?
No, never.
No. Now, were people you were trained with, was anyone that you were training with looking into, like, dabbling, trying to get a little bit of an edge back then?
No, like I took some stuff like called 1AD, but it was like a hormone. It's like a fake steroid. I don't know. It was a supplement you could buy at the store, um, but yeah, never. I never took like the real shit.
Yeah, I was always curious because that time, especially in baseball, it was crazy. Like there was all this stuff back then, and people were taking anything, any way to get an edge. I mean, I even you go to GNC, you would think that shit is legit, and then all of a sudden you find out, wait a second, they pulled it from the shelf. Now they're saying that this is not good
Yeah.
for that. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to even know what is legit and what's not so legit. Now this place, Cage Rage, that you were fighting. So I'm assuming guys probably were trying to get some sort of edge back then if they weren't testing
I'm
for
sure.
the drugs.
I'm sure.
Do you ever feel
I don't
like,
know. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, when it comes to things like the steroids, things like that, performing enhancing drugs, um, I'm not sure if fighters take it so they can train harder and they can beat their bodies up because, like, training naturally, I mean, you wake up, you could barely move, but to take something to where you could just go, I mean, I'm thinking maybe that's where the advantage comes in because even like with a professional bodybuilding, everyone that takes steroids is not going to become Mr. Olympia. You got to have natural talent. You got to train hard. So I don't think the steroid advantage is that as high in the fight game, but I might be wrong. I'm not an expert, but that's just my opinion.
I did notice that a lot of people that were busted for whatever did say that they did it for recovery. That's why they do
Yes,
it. Or if they're
yeah.
trying to bounce back from an injury or something like that to recover. The downside would be your body breaks down more apparently if you do abuse some sort of
Yep.
steroid. So it kind of, I guess I could see what you're saying. It really doesn't make sense because you're eventually going to fall apart. A guy like Vitor Belfort, for example, do you feel that his body has just been deteriorated from that whole steroid taking stuff?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So you never thought, like when you were fighting stuff like that, you never thought, hey, hey, this guy might be trying to get an edge on me?
No, I mean, I think if I would have, possibly beat Anderson, if I would have had more, bigger fights and, had a more successful career and I was at a point where that was all I did because I always worked two jobs, even when I was fighting, So, I wonder maybe if all I was doing, all I had to do was fight, would I take that chance? Would I actually take something? I mean, I don't know.
What are your thoughts on like the whole weed thing? Like just recently, a guy like Kelvin Gastelum,
I think it's bullshit.
right?
Yeah, man. I think it's bull. And I don't smoke, but I mean, I just think it's bullshit. When you compare, like the Diaz brothers, and then like the thing with guy who was using coke. Yeah, but I think it's bullshit.
It doesn't make sense how that would be any advantage to somebody. I if anything, you would think it'd be a disadvantage if someone came in the cage high.
Yeah. I was talking about that with one of my guys today. It's like because a lot of his fellow wrestlers, they smoke weed, and it's. I mean, I don't know. I would assume it would relax you maybe too much. Slow response time. I don't know because I don't smoke it. So.
It's funny. Kelvin Gastelum fights Vitor Belfort, wins, and the fight was a great fight. I'm not sure if you did see that fight, but
yeah, I saw it.
He beat him up pretty damn good, and now they're taking the win away from him and saying it's a no contest or whatever, and now he's gonna pay the Brazil commission like 20% back of his purse.
I smell bullshit.
Right? Is that not insane?
Yeah, man. I think it's bullshit.
Oh my god. I mean, listen.
But like I think you said earlier, he broke the rules. So
yeah.
But they just need to change that rule. That's a stupid rule.
It is. It really is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But hey, listen. I mean, you know what? Here, the thing with steroids, the thing with the marijuana thing, it always comes up. So I love to ask people that fought, especially professionally. I always love to ask, about that situation because it's interesting to hear your guys' point of view. So now, okay. You get the call to the UFC. You're gonna fight in the UFC. What do you tell your family and everything like that? Are you like so giddy right now? Or are you just completely beside yourself? Or are you just cool and like, all right, it's all about business?
Well, yeah, I was super excited. Back in was it 2001? I think was UFC 30. But anyway, you got to think I had only been training for like 6 or 7 months. So me going there preparing, to fight Baroni. I still had, I still felt I had on my fan hat, like I was a fan, and I remember thinking when I got in the octagon, wow, I'm here. You know what I mean? But shit, that's the wrong attitude to have.
What do they call
But
it?
it's different now. Fighters, they get amateur careers, long amateur careers, a lot of smaller shows. You gotta understand, when I fought Phil Baroni, technically that was my first professional fight because I didn't get paid for the two previous fights, hotel and food, but that was the first fight, my third fight that I actually, and I was in the UFC. It was a lot, too much too soon.
What was different in the rule wise back then? What was the difference in rules? Were there much difference with what you can and can't do with the rules now?
In the rules, maybe, the whole 3 points down, that whole new rule. I mean, other than that, it was pretty much the same that I could think of.
We're here with Curtis Stout. He's hanging out with the MMA-holes. He's doing us the honor. He's gracing us with his presence, and I'm super excited about this. I have like a million questions. I'm trying to squeeze them all out real quick. Speaking of the 3-point down thing, Chris Weidman, Gegard Mousasi, that happens. Who should we side with here? Like, what is your thoughts on that whole situation?
I'm siding with Mousasi. I think it was a good knee. I mean, it was a knee, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, he was kneeing him, and he kind of lifted him up, but it seemed like everything was legit. The ref, I mean, you can't even really blame the ref, in my opinion, but
yeah.
Chris Weidman, I guess the way it happened, he feels he has an argument to, kind of dispute it. I don't know, the whole thing is just ugly, especially when it happened for a guy like Chris Weidman. It just sucks. The whole thing sucks.
Yeah.
But, so you think that, hey, Gegard is just move on, it's a win, and that's it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe they need to address, that rule, somehow structured a little bit different, but because I see that happening again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And then how they came in, they gave him time and then like, nope, that was legal. Sorry.
Yeah. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that the sport is still relatively new, know? So things like that are gonna happen. The sport is gonna evolve. The rules are gonna evolve, and that's just a part of the game.
Now, Curtis, what do you think the UFC right now? I mean, you've been through pretty much everything. You've traveled all over the place. You fought in the UFC. You fought the greatest of all time. Where the UFC right now? Where do you think the UFC stands with the new ownership? Guys like Conor McGregor running around wanting to fight Floyd Mayweather, and everything going crazy right now. Do you feel the
that's
UFC?
A joke.
Do you think it's going in the right direction right now?
Part of me says no. I mean, for one, and it's just my opinion, I think maybe they have too many shows, and I think maybe they're looking for that cash cow. I don't know why I keep thinking of Don King, but I just keep thinking of money, just money hungry owners. What is the biggest fight I can get? Instead of creating stars. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it looks like the new ownership is a bunch of celebrities all mixed together, athletes and all these big shots that look like they just want to make the quick hit, the big buck. Now I'm guilty of being a Conor McGregor fan, but at the same time,
I am too, big time.
And what are your thoughts on a guy like Conor McGregor? Like how he came in and kind of talked his way and fought his way to where he's at. What are your feelings on a guy like that?
I mean, exactly. He talks the talk and he walks the walk. I mean, even when he, lost the match to Nate, the first time. And the second fight was questionable. I mean, I still think Conor won, but I mean, he's just a marketing genius. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about Conor. So
that's the thing. And what I always argue people is I totally understand if you don't.
Except for the fact that he does not want to box Mayweather.
Well, yeah, a guy like Floyd Mayweather, you got to think. And I always talk smack like Conor's going to knock him out. But let's be realistic. Floyd Mayweather could be arguably the best boxer ever.
Yes.
Do you think?
Arguably, yes.
Do you think
definitely the smartest?
Oh yeah. Well, this whole thing coming out where he's saying, "Hey, I think Conor has a shot." Publicity stunt?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like he's like, "Okay, hey, let's make."
He has a shot, all right. Definitely, maybe a shot of tequila after the fights. Yeah, that's a shot he got.
Do you
But
think?
he will get paid, though. He will get paid.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he's gonna make all this money. My biggest fear is, even with a loss, that Conor McGregor might just fall off the face of the earth after fighting a guy like Floyd Mayweather. Do you think he comes back after a fight like that?
Oh, easily. Yeah. It won't hurt. It won't. You mean McGregor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, McGregor lose. It would be nothing at all. I mean, because I kind of pictured. I said, well, if McGregor loses, then he's just gonna fight Khabib, and that's, I don't know why I think that, but that's just what I think. Now, on the other side, if Mayweather somehow loses, and like I did a commentary about it, it would be the biggest sports upset ever. Ever.
You got to think that, you got to think that Mayweather's like, there is no shot I could lose this. Now, is this a mistake by Mayweather even taking this chance, this risk of putting a blemish on his record against an amateur boxer?
I don't think so, because I don't think Mayweather thinks that way. I think that's part, and I'm not a huge Mayweather fan, but I think he prepares for everybody 100%. And I don't think he'll have that mindset to where, oh, he's just an MMA fighter. I think he's going to go in there and I think he's going to take his head off. But that's just my opinion.
So Conor's probably, his best shot of even trying to win this would be within the first round or second round, right? Is that pretty much the only
chance? Yeah, if you want to give, I'll give you that.
Do you think a guy like Conor McGregor doesn't have the cardio to last? Is that would be his biggest problem, or he's just not fast enough against a guy like Mayweather?
I just think it's apples and oranges, man. I mean, I don't think people realize.
I'm sorry, one second. Matthias Briones rudely interrupted us by subscribing to this channel. How dare you, Matthias? You may you die. But thank you. Welcome to the MMA-HOLES. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that. I mean, McGregor has never had a boxing match, a pro bout. So
I'm sorry. They keep subscribing. I apologize.
Yeah. Go ahead.
These guys are dicks. No, Corbin just subscribed. But go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, but the fight, like you said, arguably the best boxer ever. I mean, and win. Come on. I think we have more chances right now, both getting struck by lightning right now, this second.
Holy shit.
Both of us. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. If we got struck by lightnings, I think this will go viral, and if we live, that'd be great. Yeah. So, all right, who is a greater boxer? Let's talk about this then. Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather. Who would you say would be the greatest pound for pound boxer?
Between those two?
Yeah.
Oh man. I gotta go with Ali.
It's funny because
different time period. He fought, whoever. I mean, as skilled as Mayweather is, he had a very smart. Yeah, I gotta say Ali.
Ali, and I guess I would agree with that too. I've said it over and over again. Muhammad Ali, and I had the pleasure of meeting this guy. Unfortunately, I was I was in a coffee shop, and he was literally like a zucchini, like a freaking tomato brain coming towards me. I'm like, oh my god, the guy couldn't even talk or anything like that. But man, just seeing him in person, I was in awe. Absolute awe. I'm like, this guy, just watching him is just, it's amazing. Like, if I saw Floyd Mayweather, I'd be like, wow, that's amazing. That's Floyd Mayweather. That's so awesome. This guy's great.
Yeah.
But Muhammad Ali is just a presence. Like, he is just, like, he's beyond anything else, I think, in sports.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yep.
And he fought to finish people. And this is my problem with a guy like Floyd Mayweather. He's, like you said, he's a very smart fighter. But watching him dance around for 12 rounds, I want to put a gun in my mouth and blow my brains out.
Yeah, I agree.
What are your thoughts on boxing and MMA? Like, boxing as a sport and MMA as a sport?
Well, I was a huge boxing fan. I mean, even before I was an MMA fan, but I mean, boxing is just not what it used to be. I mean, MMA is it's growing in boxing. Yeah, I'm not gonna say boxing is dead, but it's definitely on the decline. That's just my opinion.
That seems like an ongoing argument right now. It does seem like UFC, even though they're making mistakes with wanting the big money fights, it does seem like the UFC is going in the right direction, and boxing is just super mega popular, but it seems like it's stagnant boxing right now. It seems like the UFC
Yeah.
has a little more buzz. I don't know if I'm mistaken about that. What are your thoughts?
No, I mean you're correct. You're definitely correct.
So, okay. So now we're here with Curtis Stout, Bootney Farnsworth. He's a epic YouTuber, epic fighter, and we have the pleasure of talking to him right now. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about, and I did hear briefly a little bit of you speaking about this on your channel, but I think I need to hear this in person. I heard you fought a gentleman and they shit themselves. I need to...
No, it was just a grappling match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just a grappling match. And this was after I went to the UFC, and he was some like pro wrestler. And yeah, it was just a friendly grappling match. And before, when we weighed in and everything, and he just would not look at me in my eye. He was just, you can tell he was nervous. And I'm thinking, dude, we're just grappling, and we get in the ring, and I got to be the aggressor because he's real hesitant. And I take him down, and all of a sudden I start to smell some shit. And I'm like, well, damn, I know I just didn't shart. I mean, so what the hell? And I remember he had like a little brown spot on his shorts, and I was like, damn, this guy really did shit himself. So I hurry up and submit him, and so I can get the hell out of it. Yeah.
I always wondered if it was ever a tactic. Like, I always said, hey, if I was ever to be a UFC fighter, I wouldn't bathe for like a week. This way, when I try to get near that person, they would pass out from my stink, and I would try to win by stink. Has anyone you fought, like, have people been like so repulsive that you couldn't even fight that person, like with the smell?
Probably not that I wouldn't fight him, but I remember when I fought in Russia, Semenov was pretty musty, so I remember that. For a long time. I still remember that smell.
There's nothing worse than someone stinking very bad or not showering or taking care of their hygiene. So I would think it would be an edge if you're fighting someone and you guys are rolling around and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I'm done. Oh my God. That's pretty funny though. I always think about that. I always think of this stupid shit like that. But so now you say you're training some of these guys right now. MMA, it must be your life. I mean, it must be something that you're super duper passionate about.
Definitely, yeah.
Training these young guys, does it kind of rejuvenate you, just living through some of these young guys right now?
Yeah, it does a little bit. But yeah, it does. But I'm a lot hard, on my guys. I mean, you have to be hard. If someone says they want to be a fighter, you have to push them. Because it's a lot of guys out there, wearing tap out shirts and, I want to be a fighter. It's cool. But, when they get in the gym, you kind of want to push them. Because I used to always wonder, like I heard stories about Militich gym, in Beddendorf. Before I went and trained, I just heard like when new guys come in that, say they're fighters, I mean, they beat the shit out of the guy. And a lot of gyms do that. And I never understood why until like recently, maybe a year ago. But I mean, it's because, to me, to call yourself an MMA fighter, I mean, you kind of have to, there's no like bullshit, and you have to be true to the sport. You just can't play around and I want to be an MMA fighter, So the easiest way to weed those people out is to, when they get in the gym, now you don't even try to kill them or knock them out or anything, but you put it on them and you show them that if this is what you want, then this is what you got to go through. And I totally understand that now, because I'm a pretty nice guy. I'm soft spoken, but someone comes in the gym and says, yes, I want to be a fighter, then I'm going to show you what it means to be a fighter.
Well, hey, listen, if they're paying you for something like that, I think it's something that you must do. I think it's something that you would be doing a disservice if you take it easy on them, right? I guess that's the mindset.
Yes.
There's a gentleman named Israelius Jesus Christ in the chat, and he says, I don't know why, but this guy scares me. Is he looking menacing at the chat? They want to know if you're checking out the chat right now. They're actually usually the chat room is very like I pride myself on a terribly cringy chat room, and they've been very well behaved. They're very well behaved right now. I'm a little embarrassed by my chat room right now. They're actually interested in what you have to say. So you have completely mesmerized them with that radio voice of yours.
I appreciate it.
Has anyone ever started a fight with you? Like, so say you're in the peak of your MMA career and people know who you are. Has anyone tried to pick a fight in a bar? Nothing.
Never. No.
It's probably because you're a scary man, because I saw all the muscles and everything like that. They're probably like, okay, we'll just buy this guy a beer and let him move along.
Yeah, but like I said, dude, I'm soft as hell. You know, I'm soft spoken. You know, nice guy, and I think it throws people off. Or I'm really, really quiet, so I think they don't know what the hell to expect. You know, when they meet me. So yeah.
Thank you, Big Lex. I see you in the chat right now. It's good to see you there. He's first time on the show, and it's a good time to be here because we have a great guest right here in Curtis Stout. What was your upbringing like? Did you have a family life and stuff? Did you have a big family, brothers, sisters?
Oh yeah, 3 older sisters. Grew up in New Jersey. Then moved to Kansas City with my dad and my 3 sisters. I mean, pretty normal family life.
Growing up,
nothing stood out. I just know I loved Bruce Lee and. You know, I liked Kung Fu until the UFC came out.
How long did you live in New Jersey?
Wow. Up until I was like 13. And then I was kind of back and forth through my high school years. And then I moved to Kansas City after high school.
So coming from Jersey, you're already a badass. You're born a badass. Coming over, and then you're going over to Kansas City. Was it a big change for you? Was it something like your family? Was it a tough move to go from Jersey to Kansas City?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. You know, Kansas City to me at the time was just, you know, cows and tornadoes, you know, but yeah, I adjusted. You know, I adjust pretty well in any atmosphere, so.
I always tell my wife, and I've been in New York all my life. If you couldn't tell by this country accent of mine, but
greatest city on earth.
Yeah, you know, I love New York. I love the sports scene here. I love it. I love my family and friends. But I want to get the hell out of here because we're all on top of each other. Everything's so expensive. Yeah. It's just like, it drives me nuts.
Move upstate.
You know, that's not a bad idea. I have family that moved upstate. That's actually not a bad. But then you're really in the middle of nowhere, so.
Yeah,
I guess I'll be complaining about that.
Yeah.
Are you a warm weather guy or a cold weather guy?
I like the winter time, man.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah, I'm a bitch. I when it gets cold, I cry. My wife is a winter guy. My wife's a winter guy. Hello. Yes, I'll be here all night. No, but she loves the cold weather, so we're completely opposite with that. Now, are you married now?
No, I have a girlfriend, live with my girlfriend, so.
You're a smart man.
Good relationship, yeah.
Ever married before or just?
No. Never married, no kids.
Very smart man here. Curtis Stout. Not only is he a badass, but he's a smart fucking guy. You said no kids?
No kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have any kids yet either, and I'm not, whatever. I'm a big kid myself. Anyway, now speaking of kids, you said you have the Hulk behind you. Let's talk superheroes for a second here, okay?
All right.
Now, growing up, I was a big Spider-Man fan. I don't know why. It just felt like I could relate with the idiot. And I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. They have a new movie coming out. Excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
Is your favorite superhero the Hulk?
Definitely, yeah.
Now, what is the reason
for this?
That's why
I'm sorry. Thor Ragnarok, November. Be the biggest movie of the year.
Right? Was it Hulk? What are they going to be? Hulk Planet or some shit like that?
Yeah, Planet Hulk. And the whole Ragnarok Thor story, so... Yeah, I'm a comic book nerd, man.
Hey, listen, I mean, this is funny. This is the time to be a nerd. Now being a nerd is cool. When we were kids, being a nerd, you're getting beat up.
Exactly. Yes.
Now all the cool kids are nerds, and it's how the tables have turned. And comic book movies are booming right now. And Thor Ragnarok looks like it's gonna be no joke.
Yeah.
So that's the one to look out for. You're saying Thor Ragnarok, nothing else.
Not this year, no.
No. See, now I'm a little afraid. I'm afraid of Spider-Man, the Homecoming movie. I'm a little nervous about this.
Are you?
Yeah, I like a brooding movie. I like the Dark Knight movies.
Yeah.
Love those movies. And the Spider-Man thing, I understand they're kind of going towards a more comic booky type thing. Yeah. And I'm afraid.
I hear you, man.
I am afraid. Curtis Stout is here live in the MMA-HOLES. Now, let's talk about this. YouTube. You are a YouTuber. How long have you had that channel for now?
A little over a year.
Okay. Now, what got you into YouTube? Let's go back in that real quick.
Okay, just because I love video games, I play a lot of Call of Duty. So just watching YouTubers play Call of Duty, the Legend of Thunder, and just I said, hey, I want to do this. So I got all the equipment and just started doing it.
That's awesome. So now, what are we talking about equipment here? We got the headset. We got do you have any specific
Capture card?
Oh, okay.
Capture card. A decent computer. A monitor, gaming monitor.
What kind of computer do you run off now?
Asus.
Asus. Oh, that's a really good computer.
Yeah, it's an i5, but it's good enough.
Hey, listen. This stuff here, I had to upgrade to a gaming computer. I like playing games, but I suck, so I don't really do it. But to run this show, I had to go to a gaming computer because, I mean, it's fucking badass over here. So I But I went to an MSI, and I think I would always stick with gaming computers. These things are beasts. It's crazy what they could do. So
now, is it a desktop or laptop?
This is a laptop. I was gonna do a desktop, but I'm like, if I'm on the go, I'd like to just pick it up and go with it. So I went laptop. A little more expensive, but at least it serves multiple purposes. I do need that.
Yeah. Okay.
So now you have this gaming channel. What's the goals with the gaming channel? I love the fact, and we said it in the beginning of the show, that you are a gamer and you tell stories while you're doing the games, MMA stories, which is great. So I need all you MMA holes. Check out the channel here, Bootney Farnsworth. Definitely checking out. In the description, I dropped a link to his channel. Definitely go over there. Say hi from the MMA holes and subscribe to my man now. Now, what's the goal with the YouTube channel? How passionate are we? Do we do monthly, weekly videos? What do we look like, or is it sporadic?
I do weekly. I try to upload at least once a week, sometimes twice, but I know I kind of look at quality over quantity. I mean, that's an argument with, YouTube. And should you just put out content, or should you put out less content but higher quality? That debate will probably go on forever. But the biggest problem with being a YouTuber is the fact that, I could shake my titties or something if I had titties and get a million subs, or I could, the whole clickbait, all the BS that comes with it. But this is just a hobby. I do it for fun, so.
That's the thing, and I think it does suck because you got a guy spinning, and I wish I had one right here. You ever see those?
Oh my God! No, go ahead.
The fidget spinners. You ever see those things? Yeah. Where they're just spinning around, and literally they have 10 subscribers, and they're spinning a spinner on their finger, and the next thing you know, they got 1 million subscribers because of one stupid.
Exactly.
It's nuts. Providing no content, nothing, and that's what happens. It looks like you do put some editing. How long does it take to put together a video?
Wow, probably 3 hours.
So you're putting some time in this, and they're just putting a spinner video on, and here you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you know what? What I've noticed, especially with this channel, I've noticed, and we've been doing this since summer of 2016, and what's cool about this is people. The interaction with everyone is so much fun. Everyone loves the same thing. I was going to say that. Yeah. Everyone's super cool.
Yeah, that is the best part. Meeting people and, developing relationships and growing together. I mean, that's probably best.
Jay Madden says maybe you should shake them titties. So here we go. Now, it was just a matter of time before someone would say something.
Yeah.
But now, do you ever think about doing any live streams and maybe future live streams or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm going to start when the summer comes because I work at the school. So when the summer comes, I'll have more time. I'll do live. Well, my uncle will do live streams. That's a character I have on my channel, and I think that'll be hilarious. So
tell us a little bit more about the character. I did notice that. I see you have that mask and everything like that. Tell us about how did this character come about?
I don't know. I was just doing a commentary, and the voice just came. Hey, Bootney, this is Uncle Farnsworth. How y'all doing? So I just thought, hey, I'm gonna take it a step further, and I'm gonna get a mask. Everybody loves them. So, and I just try to come up with funny clips. So so I figure if I live stream as a character, I think it'll be pretty good.
I think so too. I tell you what, I'm a fan right off the bat. I checked out your channel. I caught a couple of the videos, and I saw the character. I saw the stories. I'm hooked. So you'll definitely have a viewer right over here from me, and I'm sure these MMA holes will jump in as well.
I appreciate it.
Jay Madden says, "Joke man, I'm sorry, much love." Okay, Backwards North says, "This dude's a straight up pimp." So there you go. I definitely think you got some fans over here. He's one of the
appreciate it,
realest
yeah.
guests you've had on here, to be fucking honest. And you know what? I gotta say, we've had a lot of fighters on. We've had some interesting characters. I've had a young lady do a somersault on here, and just weird stuff. But I have to say, I enjoy talking to you. You have like a voice for radio. You definitely have that smooth voice that's very pleasing to listen to.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and we don't wear pants over here, so don't get uncomfortable if you ever decide to come back on.
All right, that's fine.
Did you ever think about doing like a podcast as well, or are you just strictly on YouTube?
Yeah, I thought about it because some of the YouTubers that I follow, we're pretty cool, and they're big MMA fans. We thought about doing MMA podcasts and things like that, but
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I look forward to down the road. I would love to do some more collabs with you. I'd love to get you back on. I have a million more questions, but I don't want to keep you too long. So,
okay.
I tell you what, this has been so much fun talking to you. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And I look
right.
forward to doing some more streams maybe in the future. We do Fight Buddies for the UFC events this week in UFC 211. And we'll be getting drunk, doing a live stream, and maybe in the future we could do a Fight Buddies, have Curtis Stout involved in it if you ever have interest.
Definitely, yeah.
That'd be super cool. I'd love to do something and maybe do a weekly spot with you and stuff. Before I let you go, UFC 211, let me get your thoughts on UFC 211. We got some big fights this weekend, and I would love to hear what you think about this event coming up.
What match in particular? Like just the overall show?
Yeah, the show. What fight in particular you would be looking forward to? You got Stipe, you got Dos Santos, you got JJ Andrade, you got even Poirier versus Alvarez headlining the prelims, which I think is an atrocity. I would love to see that on the main card.
I think so too. Yeah.
Right? Isn't that a great fight? Like, I don't understand.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I understand. Hey, it's headlining the prelims. We're getting it for free, this and that. But I feel it's a disgrace. Eddie Alvarez, hey, he had that fight with Conor McGregor, but if you look at his track record,
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. And Dustin Poirier.
But then again, this goes back to what we talked about earlier. Both of those guys, great fighters, but they don't talk much. They're really humble, and a lot of times that doesn't sell. So
yeah, the bullshit does sell, and I'm guilty of jumping on that. All right, this is what I'm gonna do real quick because we have people in here, and I would love to just get your opinion on these fights. So right off the bat, you have Cejudo versus Pettis. Right off the bat, you have that fight, which I think is an intriguing fight as well. What are your thoughts on a fight like that? The two little guys, Cejudo with his giant Mexican head, Anthony Pettis looking like Pee Wee Herman. What are your thoughts on that fight?
Well, I'm a huge Pettis fan, so I'm going with Pettis.
Okay, so Pettis he's on a little bit of a tear right now. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Cejudo's coming off the loss with Benavidez. So Pettis would be a nice pick right now, that 15-2-0. So you think it's gonna be an easy one for Pettis? How do you think this one's gonna go down?
No, I don't think it'll be easy. I think it'd be a good fight, but yeah, I'm going with Pettis on that one.
Pettis on that one. Okay, let's go to the next one. Edgar versus Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez, super stud. This kid looks like the real deal. And Frankie Edgar is Frankie Edgar.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
that guy got so much heart, man.
What are your thoughts on this one? How do you think this one's going to go down?
I got to go with Frankie Edgar, man.
Right? How could you pick against a guy like Frankie Edgar? I mean, the guy is tough as nails, and you got to think he's got a little chip on his shoulder, right? With this young stud coming in and
definitely
thinking he's hot stuff. He's, and he's an exciting fighter. I think it's going to be a great fight. So Frankie Edgar, you got on that one. We got Damian Maia, and I just met this guy, Masvidal, who is fucking
wow.
He is a cool dude.
Wow. Man, I don't know.
Right? How tough?
I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. I love Damian. I'm going Masvidal on that one.
Masvidal on that one. You can think he's gonna strangle him like he's been doing to a lot of these guys. All right, Masvidal on that. Oh, you said Masvidal. Okay.
Masvidal. I don't. Yeah. There we go. I don't think anyone's strangling Maia.
That's right. Maia. I'm all fucked up. I'm sorry. Someone subscribed. Cicero Kikero, welcome. You are wonderful, wonderful. Next fight, the badass bitches. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I always screw up her name, and Jessica, better traps than me, Andrade. What do you think of this one?
Oh man, wow, I think that's a toss up.
Yeah, because you got Jessica, who actually can fight on the ground. She's a burly lady who could definitely throw bombs. But JJ is so tactical and so precise. It's a real.
That's a
tough one,
toss up, man.
right?
I don't know.
I'm so erect thinking about this fight. It's not because you're here; it's because these young ladies are gonna beat the shit out of each other. I can't wait to watch that one. Do you have a pick on that fight?
I'm going with Andrade.
Andrade. Oh, look at that. She's going to dethrone the champ. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the main event. Junior Dos Santos versus Stipe Miocic. That should be a good one right there. What do you think? This is the second time they meet. Dos Santos got the first one. Stipe's been on a run, holding on to that belt.
I'm going with Stipe on that one.
Stipe holding on to the belt. Stipe looks so good. He really does. This guy, I mean, I just think he just doesn't care. He just doesn't. He goes out there. He could take a punch. He could throw a punch. I mean, he just does not care. And I think he's going to hold on to that belt for a while too. So you're thinking Stipe Miocic? I
don't know about that.
Oh, really? So you think who's going to dethrone Stipe if you had to guess? Oh, I know who you're going to say. I know
who.
Ngannou or Derek Lewis. What do you think of those guys?
I don't know, man. I just see in the heavyweight division. I just see that belt being passed back and forth and back and forth. Yeah.
Well, let me get you on this one. Now, I said before the year started, I am a huge fan of Derek Lewis. I think the guy is hilarious. And I think the guy is a fucking good fighter. I think he's underrated when people are like, oh, he's big. The guy, I mean, he's a good freaking fighter, and he's got some
funny
pop.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, funny as hell. Now, a guy like him rising up, and you got Ngannou, who is a class act, but a scary dude in that cage, Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, you got some scary killers coming up there. Who do you think, out of Derek Lewis, Francis Ngannou, who do you think has the edge?
Ngannou.
I hate to agree with you, but I think you're right on that one. That guy is scary. Oh, he's scary good.
Yep.
Francis Ngannou. I think the chat room agrees as well. Well, Curtis, it's been a pleasure. I could talk forever. I'd love to have you back on. This is a great time. Looking forward to chatting with you again. Bootney Farnsworth. We have at Bootney Gaming is I have the Twitter handle and everything right above your head right now. Instagram. Where can we find you on Instagram? Are you on there?
No, I'm not on Instagram.
Okay, screw Instagram. We don't care about Instagram. Twitter and YouTube. Definitely subscribe to my friend Curtis Stout. It's a pleasure talking to you. I can't wait to talk to you again. Any last words to the MMA-holes?
Just thanks for having me, man. That's pretty much it. This first time doing this, so this is new to me.
This is awesome. I can't wait to have you back.
I was a little nervous, but it was fun.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And I got the chat room was there were a bunch of pussies in there. There were a bunch of pussies. They could have been way harsher on you, and they were scared. You intimidated them strongly, so nothing to be nervous about.
Internet trolls are strong.
Oh, man. Well, Curtis, thanks again for coming on, and we'll definitely be looking forward to your latest uploads and having you back on soon.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right. There he is. Curtis.
Later.
Curtis Stout on the MMA-holes. That was fucking awesome. That was cool. That was cool, man. I tell you what. There's certain guys I could just sit there and just shoot the shit with, and he is one of them. What a cool dude, man. I have a lot more questions, and I didn't want to blow the load on this first episode, but we got to talk about men pooping themselves in a cage. We got to talk about Anderson, the Spider Silva, fighting with him. I mean, there is so much I want to talk about even more, and I don't think we had enough time to do it. Let's see what the chat room thinks. Guys, what do you think about new friend Curtis Stout? I think he was wonderful, wonderful. What do you guys think? That was super cool.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay, so, Mr. Noriega, what's up? What is up? How are you? Thanks, Curtis, says Craig Lee. Brian Roy just says, I'm not checking it out. I don't like the name Boots. Oh, man. So Brian Roy just saying.
Lick my balls.
The best is, oh, man. The funniest shit is when people subscribe in the middle of the interview. And then you're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Wait until you guys start donating a little bit more, and then your comments will be read over it. Yeah, I might have to change that. He is a legit guy. KMX193, I concur. I agree. Big Lex says, peace out, brother. Big Lex. And thanks for joining us, Big Lex. I hope you enjoyed what was going on there. And come back on our Wednesday nights, because the Wednesday nights we get even more swole with new characters, new, MMA. That's what we're about. If you guys are just jumping in right now and you're like, what the fuck is going on? We are the MMA-HOLES. We do weekly shows every Wednesday, but we have just begun. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are going to be 3 guaranteed shows a week. Why the fuck not? This Saturday is a Fight Buddies, UFC 211. If you don't know, now you know, Ninja. This Saturday is going to be off the fucking hook. It's going to be nuts, man. This Saturday is going to be a lot of fun. You definitely want to chat with us on UFC 211. Uh-oh. Look at this. 10 more fucking likes. Give the thumbs up for Curtis the Man Stout. That's right.
I've
Got 10 more likes. I've got 10 more likes.
I've got 10 more likes.
Fuck you. Dislikes. Dance.
I've got 10 more likes.
I've got 10 more likes. Look at Joe go.
10 more likes.
I hope the dislikes die of AIDS. That's right. The dislikes are dying. We have 3 people dying of AIDS. Okay. Let's see. Why was George Sampras? There he is. George, I see you. Wonderful, wonderful interview. Thank you, Jay Smooth. Fred About says, just kidding, Curtis. Jacob says, Curtis is a black guy. I will reference in the future to prove I have a black friend. Oh, God.
Wonderful.
Bootney says, thanks, Fred. And thank you, Bootney, for joining us. You are awesome. KMX193 says, I'll take a hit for the hit that I took for the hit for Curtis. All right, there you go. Jesus Christ says, hey, it's 5:30 here, and it's dark. It's easy to get scared. Okay. All right, Backwoods North is hitting the bong for Curtis. Oh, I was saying bye to Curtis. I'm still here, brother. All right, Big Lex. Big Lex, where are you from? And where are the rest of you MMA-holes from? Let me know right now. I'm from New York. I'm from Queens. I am Mystic Moss. I get all my picks right. And my name is Chris. And I am wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Excuse me. Brian Roy just says Fight Buddies this Saturday. That's right, Brian Roger. You fucking tell him. George Sampras says Dick's out for Harambe. Dance Monkey Joe. That's right, Craig Lee. Jay Smooth says Fight Buddies will be lit. And you are correct. And Jay Smooth's been here. You know. Fight Buddies are insane. They're a lot of fun. We have a good time. We kill brain cells. And we will be popping the gold label that night. That's right. Scotch it up. Bong it up. Join it up. Whatever the fuck you want to do. Fook you dislikes. 5 more subscribers, and we play the Fuck Luke Thomas song. Can we get 5 more subscribers before I leave on this Monday night? You better get in here quick so we could dance to the Fuck Luke Thomas song. Let's see. Who is Blacker, Curtis or Justin Sumter? That's a toss-up. I think they're equal darkness there, and they're both awesome. Brian Roy just says, Fook you dislikes. KMX193 says, my bong is long gone. However, I've got wax. There you go. That's good. That is wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Jay Smooth says, hi, time. Mr. Noriega says, dislikes can go to hell. They could go there, too. That's sure. I agree. Craig Lee says, KMX193, dab up. That's right. KMX193 says, and medical card. Los Angeles. All right, L.A. This is pretty cool, man. We got a lot of peeps from L.A. hanging out with us, and that is wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
West Coast represents on an MMA-hole Monday. George Sampras says, where is Marlene? She would have gone crazy for the BBC. Marlene, if you're not aware, Marlene is an MMA-hole. Marlene is in South Carolina. Marlene is training with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That is correct. Marlene is training. I did touch base with her, and she is training with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So if you guys want to hear about that, stay tuned. Jay Madden says, M.A. All right, there you go. Represent. Backwoods North says, can't fucking wait for Joanna fight. That's going to be sick. Let me know what your fight is in the chat. I want to know. I'm from New York, too, but I'm in Cali now. Oh, there you go. So Mr. Noriega's from New York, too. There you go. Represent. A lot of people do move to Cali from New York because they want to get away from all the craziness. Well, there is craziness there, too, but the crazy cold. Sour skunk got my mind fried. George Sampras says 2-2 shits earlier. New York, no weed. There we go. All right, so New York and no weed. Okay. That's good. That's wonderful, wonderful. John Jones fighting DC. Boom, 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 boom. John Jones fighting DC. Is that official yet? It is not official, but it has to happen. Has to happen. About the fucking fact we keep having black dudes here. Well, listen, I am so white we need to have black presence here. And hey, George Sampras, you cuck, if you came on Friday, we had Craig Lee, who is just as Caucasian as myself. So we have all different colors, shapes, and sizes here on the MMA-holes because we are wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
That's right. Fuck Luke Thomas has been as pussy right now. he's changing his name or some shit. I heard Luke Thomas, from a little birdie, I heard Luke Thomas changed his Twitter. I have to look into this. But if he did, that means the Fuck Luke Thomas song got to him. And 5 more subscribers, we play it, so get in here. Frank Pavon says, nope, Madden. Curtis was a really great interview. Thank you, Brian Roger. I think Curtis was really good. He really, really was good. Honestly, probably top 5 in guess. He really was. Chill dude, had some really cool stories, and just went with it. That's a good guess right there. Mommy be training. LOL training, says George Sampras. Training. Talking about Marlon. If Wonderboy wins another fight, I'll be an astronaut, says Jesus Christ. Hell yeah, Wonderboy is the shit, says KMX193. KMX193, look back in older MMA-hole videos. We met Wonderboy. Wonderboy did some shout-outs for us. I actually got the pleasure of interviewing Wonderboy for Gotham Magazine. That was kind of cool. Go back in the archives and you can check that out. If anyone missed that, you better look at that after the show. Luke Thomas, pound for pound GOAT and a stud, says KMX193. Jay Madden says DC should be pushing the fuck out of that fight. He has no better shot to beat John Jones than now. Jay Madden, that is absolutely correct. If DC is going to win against John Jones, he's going to win against baby deer legs John Jones right now off of that long rest, because John Jones didn't look superb after against OSP. So you got to think that DC is foaming at the mouth right now. But DC says that he would like to face the best possible John Jones, and I truly do believe it. DC is a competitor. When it comes down to it, like him, love him, hate him, DC is a complete competitor. So, a competitor. DC is a competitor. Making fun of my own voice. Craig Lee says the MMA-holes, tongue baths for Joanna. That's right. That's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
I train, but USADA would approve of my pot urine. Yeah, Jay Smooth, you better cut that out if you're going to be serious. Taken serious as a swole MMA-hole. Let's see what we got. Yeah, but there's no crazies walking and talking on the Broadway, right? Yeah, there is. Jay Madden says, has to happen. I agree. I am. Y'all been smoking USADA strain weed, says George Sampras. That's wonderful. I'm Team DC. I'm chubby like him. Haha. Jay Madden. Yeah. Listen, I'm Team DC because he's like your average guy. You look at him, you don't think fighter. He's like your average guy. And he fucking throws people around like ragdolls in there because of the towel. I'm Team DC too. Brian Roger says that Craig Lee interview was outstanding. Wow, look at Brian Roger giving the great thing. Craig Lee was awesome, by the way. Craig Lee was awesome on Friday. If you missed it, we did what's called Random Night. If you were here, then you know. We did Random Night and Craig Lee was on. Craig Lee was awesome. Maybe Craig Lee will be our Random Night guy. That would be kind of cool. Brian Roger, thanks, bro. Yeah, Luke also changed his sexual preference. I do agree.
Wonderful.
He did. He shaved his beard and his pussy beard. DC Ital cheat. Fuck him, says Frank Pavon. Brian Roger says, I bet Luke Thomas watches the MMA-holes. He secretly does. He's a secret fan. Pretty soon he's going to have an MMA-holes shirt, and he's just not going to tell anyone. He's going to order it. Oh, check out your check out your MMA-holes shirts down in the description. Do it fucking right now. We have swole gear because we're the best. Wonderboy can kiss my brown butt for losing twice to Woodley. Jacob, you know what's funny about you? Is when I do go back and I skimmer through, and I do see all of your comments. If I miss them tonight, I go back because I'm the narcissist, but I do look in the chat, and Jacob, you're a funny motherfucker with your brown comments. It's pretty funny. Frank Pavon says, DC a towel cheat, fuck him. And I agree. I think Luke Thomas says watch. DC's fat ass can't make 205 without a towel. DC is a towel. What the fuck? George Sampras, it's good to have you back. Fucking stop having black people on here now. God. That's what George Sampras says. Okay.
Wonderful.
KMX193 says, I don't know why people hate DC. He is a cool-ass guy. And that's what a lot of people say. People say, well, Luke Thomas has said this too, that when you meet DC in person, he's a great guy. Stops for a picture, talks to you, hangs out. And he busts balls. He busts balls like every guy busts balls. Me and my friends, that's all we fucking do is bust balls. So he's busting a couple of people's balls. Who gives a fuck? That makes him a bad guy. DC seems like a cool dude. I would hang out with DC. He seems like a real cool... Like John Jones. I mean, listen, I would like to party with John Jones. He sounds like he has a great time. Fucking hit and run, pregnant people, hopping over fences, doing blow. Sounds like a great time. But, yeah, whatever. I will anytime. Fuck this being nice shit, says George Sampras. Okay. Jesus Christ is here. Says, George, you read God's mind. Luke did not shave his beard, did he? No, he didn't. Only I did. Well, I didn't shave it all. I trimmed it. George Sampras says Wonderboy trains with Marlin to get ready for Woody. Okay. Mr. Noriega says, you rock so much, it's almost Mozart. And that is a wonderful, wonderful statement.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Check out Mr. Noriega's channel. If you didn't know, now you know, Ninja. I actually featured him. Here's Bootney Farnsworth. Let's look. Check it out. Bootney Farnsworth. This is the gentleman we had on, and I'm not shitting you. If I didn't want you to subscribe to his channel, I would say, no, I would just not even talk about him. But I have to say, I was highly amused by his videos. He does some good stuff on here. He has good content. And I only push people with good content. So check him out. Check him out now. Bootney Farnsworth, Mr. Noriega. I know you're there. Mr. Noriega does a channel, an interesting thing over there. If you check out wonderful, wonderful channels, here's my peeps. T-Man, Jesse Bell Hill, who threw us a shout out. We love you, Jesse. You're awesome. Marlon Lane, Trusty. All these people. Check them out. Fangirl MMA. And if you look down here, Mr. Noriega is featured as well. Mr. Noriega, check him out. He does the sub for sub stuff. He does gaming stuff. Check him out. Mr. Noriega is wonderful, wonderful too. I only hang out with wonderful, wonderful people here on the MMA-holes. Okay, it is 10:38. A couple more minutes, and I'm going to wind down the Monday show. But don't worry. After the Tough 25 episode 4, we're 0 for 3 because the first 3 sucked. We're going to talk about Tough 4, episode 4 of Tough 25 this Wednesday. So I'll be going on after Tough 25. Tough's on at 10. I go on at 11 Eastern time, and I'll be here talking with you guys, recapping that and talking about the latest in UFC news. So if you're not subscribed right there. Put yourself in there. Just stick yourself in that fucking box. Put yourself in that fucking box right now. Just shove your fucking self in the box. Put it in there. Now, 5 more in the box. We play the Fuck Luke Thomas song, so I expect you to do it right now. All right, here it is. The chat room, the cringiest live MMA chat on YouTube. All right, DC is awesome. I like him too, says J Madden. There you go. Woodley would be legit if he didn't cry like a bitch and bring race up. KMX, I've stated that. I actually devoted a stream to that. I don't think Woodley's a bad guy. I think he's fucking annoying. I do. I find him annoying. Jacob says, cringe alert. Chris, you need to have another hillbilly next time to balance out the cracker to... Wait, how did you get... Hold on. He got the ninja past Nightbot. Jacob, you slick motherfucker. You got the ninja past Nightbot. Nightbot's usually good like that, but I'll give you a pass. Jay Madden says, John Jones is a fucking scumbag. Backwoods North says, LOL, I love to party with Jones as well. Yeah, I mean, you got to think it's a good time, right? George Stamper says, LOL, I was trolling the fuck out of a live stream, and the dude I'm so black cussed me out. Wait, hold on. I am so damn black you talking about? The guy that comes on our streams was cussing George Sampras out? 2 MMA-holes cussing each other out is completely unacceptable. That's all right. George Sampras, I could see how you would get under people's skin, but I think you're cool. Let me smash, says George Sampras. Jay Madden says Woodley is a legit beating Thompson twice. And now not technically convinced me. Okay. Frank Pavon says, fuck tough. It sucks. And I agree. It does suck. Yet, we get decent ratings for that, and people apparently like me to recap and rants about shit. So, I do it. I do it for you. I do it for the people. I know, Frank, it's fucking late for you guys. In Scotland over there, I know it's late. So, at least, I do appreciate you coming on tonight. I know it's a little late over there, but you are wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And Tough could lick my balls.
Lick my balls.
George Sampras, does anyone get a release from saying the N-word? Backwards North said, I don't know, I guess Nightbot gave Jacob one. Saturday is going to be so fun, boys. Backwards North, I can't wait. The last time we did a UFC Fight Buddies, we got banned from YouTube. And yeah, if you guys are just jumping in right now, last Fight Buddies was UFC 210. We had top numbers, like numbers through the roof. We were killing all MMA-hole records. We were definitely going cray-cray, drinking, killing brain cells. They took us down. And they said you couldn't stream for another 3 months. So I had to fight YouTube. I had to fight UFC, Zuffa, who actually reported us for no fucking reason. Just stupidity. So we fought them. We won. We got our channel back. And this is our first time back. If you missed that stream, UFC 210 is in our video archive. You could just check out on our channel. And you could go back and see the stream just shut down. Sucks. But at least they gave it back, and we are back. I wonder, is Japan tests for weed? If not, Risen FF Lightweight Championship is mine, says Jay Smooth. It was interesting when Curtis was on. We were interviewing Curtis Stout. If you missed it, run it back. When we're done, check out the interview. I'll put the link when the stream is up. I'll put the link in the comments. You can go straight to it. And Curtis Stout was talking about how there was no drug testing back then. So steroids, you got to think, was running rampant. So it was a different era. Hello, you Ginger Fook. Hello, Fum Ducker. Craig Lee says, Wed Fun Day. Jay Madden says, I like Luke Thomas, but he so has this type of shit coming. That's right. That's right. He has the Luke Thomas song coming. Jay Madden says, said that. Frank Santiago says,
Wonderful.
Frank Santiago is a boss because he has an MMA-HOLE shirt. Check him out on Twitter. He is wonderful. George Samper says, LOL. I Am So Damn Black Guy was mad because I kept saying a bunch of racist shit. Oh, man. I Am So Damn Black is from New Zealand, I think. Stop chasing away our New Zealand friends, George Sampras. Doing an awesome job during the interview. Thank you, Frank Santiago. It's tough, man. You know what? Actually, you guys are behaving so well during that interview that you guys kind of let us go. So you let me go for it. So I appreciate it. I had a good time. I think, you know what? It comes down to the person I'm interviewing. Curtis was so cool that it flew nicely. I think it did. I would love to watch that back and see how I did and rate myself and blow myself. Fuck it. I want championship. I'll clean up before USADA comes after my stash. That's right. All right. So, okay. So then keep it going. What does Nightbot do? Nightbot does, he spams. Frank Pavon says, get CEO of Premiere back on. She rocked with her stories. Okay, I will, Frank. I will. Actually, it's funny you say that, Frank. Next week, not this week, but the following week, we got 4 Premier fighters because there's a fight coming up. So, and there's one guy named Pat Casey. Pat Casey, you're going to want to know about. You're definitely going to want to know about. And if you don't know, check out my Premier FC video. It's in the video section. Pat Casey ripped the microphone out of my hand. I tried to do the Joe Rogan, hold on to the microphone, and Pat was like, no, just give me that fucking thing. So we'll have him on. We'll talk about that. Saying the M-word helps me be more creative. Okay. I will be there if you do it, says Jay Madden. Okay. That's good. Zufa dropped the N-word on y'all. Says George Sanford. Craig Lee, J Smooth, the man. That's right. He is. Mr. Noria says, when you fight, you win. It's just hell and takes so long. Okay. Jesus Christ says, no females today. Only this gay... You know what? Yeah, Nightbot is... maybe Nightbot's a girl. You never know. But no girl. Oh, Becky Dean was here earlier. Don't disrespect the Beck. I need to vacuum my fucking place. All right. Thank you, George, for letting us know. Jason Wu says MVP Craig Lee in the place to be. That's right. Craig Lee is fucking awesome. Next decade, let's gang rape it. Okay. Craig Lee says at the MMA-HOLE, skullfuck Nightbot. All right. So they want a gang rape and a skullfuck on Nightbot. Fucking, I need Mexican here so I can be mean as fuck. Mexican's working a job where he has conflicting hours. He came on Friday's show, and maybe next Friday we can have him on. When his job is done, he will be back in full effect with us when he has schedule changes. People from New Zealand are called All Blacks, says Frank Bavon. That's wonderful.
Wonderful.
We can't ask questions, Chris, when this weirdo was staring back at us. So, Jesus, you do believe that Curtis Stout was staring at you? He could have been. It's possible. It's tough to know what we're looking at. I have 2 screens going. Actually, I got 3 screens going. And Curtis probably has multiple screens. So, we watch everything. Cuckbot, says George Sampras. Alrighty. What's up, Tim F? Tim F, if you missed Curtis, definitely check it back. Curtis is a cool dude. Curtis Stout was on. He fought Anderson Silva. So you might want to listen to that interview. And anyone else that missed the last interview, definitely might want to look back. I will only be the 40th like if you don't play the song. Well, we do have 40 likes according to my tip jar. And we played the song, so you can drop 41 if you want. Great interview the last 7 days, Chris. Well, thank you. Thank you, Brian Roger. I got to say, I enjoy having guests on and speaking to them. You know what's funny? Like, I have better... Actually, Curtis might be the best ratings that we did just by looking at some of the stats while we were going on. Curtis might be one of the better ratings that we did during an interview. Unfortunately, when I have people on, our ratings kind of dip. I don't know why. Like, if you look at the stats, if I'm just hanging out bullshitting with you guys, we're kind of up there. But when I have guests on, they go down. But I did notice that Curtis Stout, we stayed pretty consistent. I think Curtis might have been one of the best interviews we had on here. So that means he must come back. And thank you, Brian Royge. I really appreciate that. I enjoyed this. I have fucking fun, man. It's a good time. There's a reason why I take time out of my life to fucking hang out with you fooks. It's because I have fucking fun. It's fun. It is. Weed is overrated. This is George Sampras. Brian Royge, it depends how you rate it, George. Luke Thomas is pound for pound GOAT. Backwards Noise says smoke weed every day. Okay, you what? Okay. All right, guys. We got a little cray-cray. I appreciate all of the comments because you guys are all wonderful, wonderful. Now remember, Wednesday night we will be doing our tough recap. And it's going to be our weekly show. It's show number 35, I think. It's something like that. Mid-30s. But we've been doing this like 35 weeks in a row. And Wednesday will be no different. We will be back live, getting that room swole. We will be talking about UFC 211. UFC 211 is going to be bonkers. I really have a good feeling about that. It's going to be fight card of the year. We're going to be doing a Fight Buddies on Saturday. We're going to be doing a show on Friday talking about Justin DeFort Sumter's fight. He will be fighting that night. Doing a random night, blah, blah, blah. You guys are awesome. Now keep the conversation going. When we shut this fucker down, keep that conversation going. Make sure you subscribe to our friends. In the description is Curtis Stout. Subscribe to his channel. Drop a comment on there and say, the MMA-holes are watching. That's right. That's right. Maybe we'll do a raid on Saturday too. Fuck it, we'll do it all. Keep the conversation going and flowing. And what fight are you most interested in seeing on Saturday? What is the fight that you guys want to see? I want you guys to let me know in the comments section down below when this shuts down. You guys are awesome. You guys are wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, new subscribers, for joining us because you guys rock. You guys rock, and you've made a wise choice in subscribing to the greatest MMA channel on YouTube, the MMA-holes. And remember, don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-hole. And sing. Fuck. Fears man in the chat. Like always, spam the chat with a fuck Luke Thomas. Thomas! Fuck Luke Thomas! Fuck Ariel Hawani!